beautiful, huh? Thank you.
How do you go? Oh, that's awesome.
Despite the investigation, former President Donald Trump is not unbothered by everything except for Ron DeSantis. Even though there has been news of a Mar-A-Lago employee flipping on him in that classified document investigation. Yes, that is right. And as you can see here, in terms of the boxes being moved, we know this footage is, I believe, from 2021. But we also now know that within 72 hours of the National Archives notifying Trump that high-profile presidential records were missing, well, 2 Trump workers moved boxes of documents and conducted a dress rehearsal. That is in anticipation of DOJ's visit. This per the Post. Former President Trump and his aides also allegedly carried out a dress rehearsal for moving sensitive papers even before his office received a May 2022 subpoena, according to the people familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe a sensitive ongoing investigation. Evidence showing that boxes of documents were moved into a storage area on June 2nd, just before senior Justice Department lawyer Jay Bratt arrived at Mar-A-Lago with agents. The June 3rd visit by law enforcement officials was to collect material in response to the May 2022 grand jury subpoena demanding the return of all documents with classified markings. Evidence has also been revealed that Trump at times kept classified documents in his office in a place where they were visible and sometimes showed them to others. Okay, I would not be surprised if Trump had like classified documents posted on the refrigerator with like a magnet. The man did not care, and well, why should he? Because our government really doesn't enforce laws against a select group. Anyways, the lawyer that was representing one of the 2 employees who moved the boxes, well, he said that the worker didn't know what was in the boxes. That worker, who has been implicated and also has been involved so far, is the valet, Walt Nuada. And the individual who just flipped is the maintenance worker who has yet to be identified, but his attorney has spoken out on his behalf. That's John Irving. He said this: he was seen on Mar-a-Lago security video helping Walt Nauta move boxes into a storage area on June 2nd, 2022. My client saw Mr. Nauta moving the boxes and volunteered to help him. He didn't have any reason to think that helping to move boxes was at all significant. Yes, so this maintenance worker offered to help the valet, Mr. Nada, to move some boxes because he saw he needed help. That's a really nice person. I know it wasn't his job, he's a maintenance worker, but he saw a gentleman moving boxes and he saw, hey, there's more boxes, let me help. Yeah, that's a good man, and it's good that he is now working with the feds. And this circus of a situation really is something, but it's the timeline of what Trump did with these documents that will help determine whether charges are filed against him. And the grand jury activity has been slow, but Trump's attorneys believe that charging decisions are close. But we have to remember Trump continues to deny wrongdoing. His spokesperson put out this statement. This is nothing more than a targeted political motivated witch hunt against President Trump that is concocted to meddle in an election and prevent the American people from returning him to the White House, just like all the other fake hoaxes thrown at President Trump. This corrupt effort will also fail. Really? Kind of like E. Jean Carroll's lawsuit failed. And also like those charges he's facing in New York failed. Like, let's get out of here. It really seems like Trump and his spokespeople and everybody on his team are not necessarily recognizing that the walls are closing in on Trump and co. But then again, who knows if the federal government will actually stand up and do something, even though we do have these state authorities as well as private citizens pushing back. Mondale, do you think that maybe the federal government will actually do something against a former president?
Adrienne, you don't understand. Trump is winning. Trump is winning, right? Allegedly, even though he's not the president, even though he lost the president. I don't understand these people. They literally see him continue to lose, not just his presidency. He lost in a way that's bigger than that, and people aren't talking about it. The midterm election, this midterm election, 2022, when when there was no red wave, all of this is a rebuke of Donald Trump and what he's done to the Republican Party and where he's taken them. This idea that you have the same 30% of supporters of Americans that will support you regardless, that's fine. It's not enough to win a national election. We know that. And the more baby boomers, the more they age, the less likely they are to participate. And we see the dwindling support for Trump, even on the white younger voters. So this idea that Trump is winning, that there's a hoax, that's believed by this population that is extremely loud but extremely wrong. I'm super happy they exist, and for my sake, as someone who's super progressive, I need Trump to be the nominee again. I do.
You know what? And it's funny you say that because I really prefer him over DeSantis beyond belief, because DeSantis is Ivy League educated. He's a very smart individual. He's creepy and weird, hands down. But at the same time, he is maniacal in a way where, as we see him destroying Florida, he would destroy the United States to advance white supremacy. And Trump won't. He won't destroy the US because he's gonna make money off of it. And that's a whole different level of being maniacal. And that's something that I would prefer, because it means that he's only going to exploit us, beat us up to a certain extent. Whereas DeSantis will watch the world burn, giggle, roast some marshmallows, and dip a finger in pudding. But those are just my thoughts.